let's, of course, this is the ever exciting and sexy bye week edition. Let's go back to the Maryland game because, Steve, for me, and I'll play off of the comment that's on the screen right now in regards to, how much can we take from these performances, blowing bad teams out. We saw a little separation within the Eastern Division over the past couple of weeks, meaning Maryland and Rutgers aren't all of their 3-4-0 starts. But still, you have those prolific offenses that can score 1 million points against bad defenses, but when they hit a good defense, then you see that they're really not that good. Then we see other situations where the prolific offense is the prolific offense, and we've seen those at Ohio State. We've seen the other kind at Ohio State as well, where they can prove it against anyone. Still, 66 points against a Big Ten defense, for as ragtag as it could be at times, is still mighty impressive. This offense gets better by the week, and they are really clicking at this point. So how much do you take away from the big 66 points followed up the 52-point or 45-point first half against Rutgers?
Yeah, I think you got to be pretty impressed. I think you got to be emboldened by the fact that this offense is attacking defenses in a lot of different ways. They're throwing underneath, they're throwing deep, they're running the football, they're throwing to the back out of the backfield. The special teams are starting to come on. You're getting strong kick and punt returns. Mecca Buka on kick returns and Garrett Wilson on punt returns are picking up several first downs for you and improving your field position with every return that they make. So that really sets up your offense to succeed even better when they can start on their own 30 or 40 or at midfield, as opposed, I think, Ohio State's first touchdown drive, they started on their own 12 after a holding penalty on Harrison, I think, on the kickoff. So to my way of thinking, this is a team that is coming together at the right time. They've had some very difficult life experiences with the Oregon game and the Minnesota game, really, both. Stroud is really coming into his own. Some of the throws he made, and I put 2 of them on Twitter, he threw off his back foot to Jackson Smith-Njigba down the middle of the field and threw like a frozen rope that just was never more than about 8 or 9 feet off the ground, and threw it right over the defender to Smith-Njigba for about a 44-yard gain. And then the other one I put on Twitter, they were ahead 42-10 at the time, and it was a 4th down, and it's kind of like, well, kick the field goal, we're up 42, let's go for it. And he threw the ball into the end zone, and Olave was not really open. The guy was all over him to the point where the guy had a hold of him. And Olave was able to get off of the defender. The ball seemed to hit the defender. Olave got off the defender and somehow caught the carom, falling backward in the end zone for a touchdown. And that's just uncanny on both of their parts, really, for it. Again, it's 4th down and it's 42-10. So it's not like it was a 7-3 game and you're trailing 7-3 and you've got to score a touchdown or the game's over. It was kind of like a no fault, situation. If you didn't get it, big deal. But the plays that they are making are just nothing short of uncanny. Travion Henderson coming out of the backfield on a swing pass for like a 30-yard touchdown or whatever that was pretty amazing as well. So they didn't establish the run all that great this past week. Maryland had a run stuffer at defensive tackle, Tony. And as I was going back and watching the game on the 60-minute version on Big Ten Network, he would stuff Henderson for like a 3-yard gain, and he would get up and he'd go like this every time. And I'm like, bro, it's 28-3 or 21-10. What's this stuff? But that was the one guy who came to play for Maryland, was their run-stuffing defensive tackle. But beyond that, Ohio State made them look silly. They made Rutgers look silly the week before. I think you got to be cautiously optimistic about this team. They're going to play some great defenses in the second half with Penn State, with Michigan, potentially Iowa. I have not watched Michigan State play much at all. I'm interested on Saturday. They play at Indiana. And back to your point about the separation, I don't think anybody at this point expects Indiana, Rutgers, or Maryland to beat any of the other teams in the division the rest of the way. based on what we saw. But Indiana is desperate for a win. Is Michigan State for real? We think they might be. They went down to Miami and won by 3 touchdowns, which I think is probably still their most impressive win of the year. So I'll be interested watching that game. Penn State and Michigan, I believe, are off this week, so as Ohio State is. So a lot of great football. There are 60 games involving those 4 teams at the top. And this will be how the Big Ten Eastern was won in 2021. It's who dominates those 6 games down the stretch.
I will be rooting for Michigan State this week and Michigan against Northwestern next week, so that those 2 teams are 7-0 when they meet in the East Lansing, both top 10 teams, and that's going to be the biggest game for the Paul Bunyan Trophy in some time. To get back to what Bobby Heath said, how much should the fans be hesitant of believing the hype of the team before they play a tough team? Don't be hesitant. Be fans. If you're going to be hesitant, then how are you even able to enjoy these wins? There's only 12 regular season games a year. Last year, there wasn't even that. Enjoy each game. Don't be like, yeah, but it's just this or it's just that. Enjoy them. There's only so many of them. And if it turns out that this is a national title team and you didn't enjoy every game, like you've missed the bulk of the season because you're like, well, I just don't feel you. So I'm saying enjoy it. Be all in. Be fans, be fanatics, be all in on the team, and that's why the losses hurt so much. If you just, you know what, I'm just going to freeze myself off from it so that I'm not emotionally connected to a loss, or then you can't be connected to a win either. So I would say believe the hype, because that's what you should do. And at this point, they're playing so well, they're doing so many things, and who on the regular season schedule would they not be doing this to? And Penn State is tough. Yes, Ohio State is better than all of these teams. So are you going to wait for – you just going to skip the entire regular season? Are you going to be excited to play number 2 Iowa that is definitely not the number 2 team in the nation, and you know that, so are you just going to wait like, well, of course they should be Iowa. So do you wait for the 2 playoff games before you really get invested in the season? Because that's the wrong way to do it. You look forward to the college football season all year long. Enjoy it. Don't just wait for the 2 games in January, because that's no way to enjoy it, especially when generally the season ends in a loss. So then what's the point in even in being a college football fan at that point? So believe, enjoy, experience, go to a game that isn't Ohio State. We love college football. Make the most of it. Don't put yourself in a cocoon so that you don't get hurt. Don't be a wallflower. Be a party goer. That's just my rant.
Love it. I love it.
Like
I'm right there with you. I have made that statement a couple times during the off season, not nearly as effectively as Tony, but you're rooting for Purdue. Who are you not playing, especially in the Big Ten schedule, that you're not thinking, okay, well, this is a competitive game. I've got investment in this game because we're playing everyone down the line. We could win or they could win, but it seems like the better the team, that fan base is just basically, they're looking at like 2 games a year, and everything else is just, well, we got to play Maryland this week. We got to get through Rutgers. Who cares? It's Oregon, Penn State, and we'll see what Michigan's doing at that point. That's it. And yeah, there's only 12 of these, for as low grade as some of them are.
We saw another game at Ohio Stadium under 100,000. It's like people are treating these things as annoyances almost until like the good stuff starts. And that's, it shouldn't be that way. And yes, prices of everything, they're outrageous, and the product at home is much cheaper and just as good. But, invest in this stuff. And if not with your money, at least with your time and your emotions. I mean, come on, let's like Jim Valvano said every day, move yourself to tears, to laughter, to, whatever. College football will do that for you.
This season will especially do that to you. It's been a really good one. And for me, it's been fun. More fun than I anticipated because of the unpredictability of it.